Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a very good evening this night, because it appears that we have some introductions to make. So, your host for tonight is obviously me, Prime, Senior Community Manager at Rockers MP. And I think by all the reactions that I'm seeing that everyone's able to hear me, which is good because apparently in my intro my audio wasn't working as it should, but hey, everything appears to be fine. So I'm happy about that. So today, big day. We've been working a lot, especially in the last few weeks behind the scenes. And developers have also been doing a lot of work in the last few months. And I guess now it's time to reveal what all these teasers of the last few days have been leading up to. I'm pretty sure that most of you in here already have a very, very, very good idea about what's going on. But without further ado, I'll show everyone what is going on with our release trailer. Alright, so now you know what's going on. We are indeed releasing support for ProMods on Rockers MP. So I guess everyone's hyped now. So I also said that we have some very special guests here in voice, and I'll start introducing them now. First, I'll start with some people that you may already know. First off, our project manager, Smokey. Say hi.
Hello.
We also have one of our developers here, Crash. Hello.
Hello.
And we also have Sean here, who at this moment appears to be muted.
Oh, I'm not. Hello.
Now he isn't. Alright. And perhaps one of the most special guests that we've ever had on this stream, we have a guest from ProMods. We have here with us one of the managers of ProMods, Nico.
Hello, good evening.
So, Smokey, you want to explain what's going on now?
Yeah, I will give a little more information about what's going on. Over the past weeks, we have been testing ProMods in Truckers MP a lot. We have successfully completed all the tests. We hope to support ProMods in Truckers MP as soon as possible. We hope that it will be at the end of this month, but it will be most likely that it will be in the first week of October. And as you can maybe see, we're driving on ProMods now. If you look at the GPS, the version we are now using is the 2.41 from ProMods. It's a beta version. So you guys have to know that you cannot download 2.41 and drive on it on Truckers MP soon. You will need the 2.42 version, which will be available very soon, I think. Maybe next week, 2 weeks. It's still to be released. I think that was a short introduction, and I will answer to some more questions if they come in. So I give the word back to Prime now.
All right, thank you. Nico, I
Yes.
guess I have to ask you this question. How was the experience for you, like, when starting to work with us?
Well, it's quite interesting because I first talked with Smokey about even the possibility of working together because it's not as easy as one might think. And then quite soon, Sean got assigned to us to try and get everything working. And I have to say we were quite skeptical. I mean, both projects already exist for quite a long time. But I guess we figured it out, and we did some test runs, and we found problems. We fixed them, and I guess now we are hoping that everything is all right to be released soon. I guess. So I think that working together with the TMP crew has been a nice experience so far. So.
That's good to hear. Sean, as probably one of our main developers working on this project, how was your experience?
Well, it was nice to meet ProMods guys, developers who have been working for years on this map. Talk with them, fix all these problems, because they were really fast in fixing all the stuff. The conversation was pretty nice. I mean, this was one of the best experiences in SMP for me.
Alright. Crash, I know you've been involved in this map. Maybe you want to disclose a little bit about what you've done for this project.
Well, I'm terrible at these questions. Firstly, I think chat's asking you to have a look at the map.
Oh yeah.
And then, no, yeah, it's just been really good seeing basically it all working, something that we thought was almost impossible. But now is mostly, hopefully, working smoothly. Yeah, big props to Sean for getting that all working. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've done a quick pan around the map. I gotta say, I think Smokey messaged me about this somewhere, I think it was early in August. And I gotta say, I was really stoked when I heard about it because I know we've always been saying that it was very difficult to do because of many, many reasons. And I'm glad we've found a way to work around it and find a way to bring something to you that probably, hopefully, will work efficiently. And yeah, I've over the last few days seen many messages on social media and also in Discord about if promos would be released, would we be forcing you to buy all the DLCs? No, we would not do that because we're going to put it on a separate server. And yeah, that way, if you don't have all the map DLCs, then you'll still be able to play, and it will just be on a different server. So, and I heard that Smokey wanted to take the word again, but now he doesn't want to.
Yeah, you just basically said what I wanted to say.
All right. Well, let's say I think we should start on a little drive. Currently, we are in Scotland, in Oban, and as you saw, I already set out the route towards Iceland, and that should take you across a few nice landscapes. I know a few because some of the screenshots that I've been posting on Instagram are from this road, and we also did some recording along these parts. So hey, we will try to answer as many questions as possible, but I guess everyone here can see that the chat is moving very, very quickly, so that is going to be difficult. But a first question: AI traffic. Yeah, AI traffic. I mean, I know we've teased it long ago, and we've been working on it for a very long time, but unfortunately, the situation is as this, that SES is still working on this to improve the AI, and it makes it for us very difficult to implement it because AI on its own is very complex, and if it constantly keeps changing because SES is constantly updating it to optimize it, then it's very difficult for us to keep up with it. So we hope it will come in the future and that SES comes to a point where they are happy about it. And as of then, yeah, then we can start working on AI. And I will also put on some music. Right, so we go from Oban, past Fort Williams, past Inverness, up to the north of Scotland, take the ferry to the Faroe Islands in Tórshavn. Maybe we'll drive around a little bit there because it's a small island and it's nice. And then we'll cross over to Iceland in... Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. My Icelandic is a little bit rusty, excuse me. And we'll end up in Akureyri in Iceland and hopefully pick up a couple of nice icy roads there. So without further ado, I guess we get started then. If the music is a little bit loud or a little bit too quiet, let me know and I'll try to improve it. And as per usual on a TMP stream, it's getting dark.
Perfect timing.
As always.
Music is loud, music is loud. Okay, excuse me. Sorry guys, I need to stop. Need to put the music a little bit softer. Righty then. Oh yeah, and for those who are asking about the fancy ass trailer that we are using here, there was a ProMods trailer and a Truckers MP branded trailer. Sean, can you indulge a little bit on that?
Well, I have no plans in adding these trailers to the public yet, because we are still working on new models, as these trailers are only for this model trailers, so it wouldn't really be possible to use it for others at the moment. This is a question for the editing team more, and we don't have a manager here.
Right. And yeah, indeed, I messed up. You're in the UK.
You're in the UK.
I was driving on the wrong side as well. I was just following you like a typical truck driver.
Yeah, blame me for driving in Belgium the entire day. So yeah, I guess everyone's, apart from ProMods that is coming very, very soon, we still have something to look out for, namely a few branded trailers. And I guess with Nico being here and with us supporting ProMods and ProMods also supporting multiplayer, I guess it's also a good time to announce another thing. And that is this, well, Truckers MP partners, of which ProMods will be our very first. Maybe our project manager can indulge on that.
Yeah, I will. So as Prime just said, we will partner with certain instances. ProMods is being one of them. As it's rather clear that we have mutual benefits. We can give something to our players. ProMods can have their mod usable in Truckers MP. There is another instance that we will partner with. I won't say too much about that yet. We're already in the talks, but it's not yet made public. But this should be made public somewhere in the weekend. So I think you will see more information about that very soon.
Indeed.
If you are asking, will you partner with any organization or any instance? Well, as we want partnership to be something special, we are not going to partner with, let's say, VTCs. That's not likely. We will see into the possibilities of doing this though. We will have to talk with a lot of internal people first to see what direction we want to go with partnerships. But yeah, as for now, it's only ProMods and the one that is not yet publicly in.
And I have to say props up to the ProMods developers and map, and especially the map makers, because this just looks beautiful.
I think the compliment should be directed towards Cash Time in this area. So he's actually probably one of the older developers in ProMods, and I think he has been active for 3-4 years already. So
Nice.
he has and is actually still doing a lot of work in the UK. So I know that a lot of people are requesting more work to be done in the UK, and we have some new developers working in that area as well. But as always, we rather work a little slower to create better quality than rush things over. So
Yeah.
I guess in future updates more UK changes will be made, so something to look forward to.
I saw a question about the possible server size for the ProMod server that will be going up in the very near future. We are planning to first start with 2500 slots to start with, and we'll monitor from there. Another question was about the Renault T that SES is most likely going to announce tomorrow. Yeah, we will obviously try to support that as soon as possible, and hopefully this also doesn't collide with the ProMods mod, because otherwise things get a little bit more complicated.
It's hard to say at the moment.
Yeah, none of us know how the game files will look and if there are big changes, so... No, not 250, 2500, so 2500. Well, 2500 slots not enough. Well, we'll see. As I said, it is a starting number, and we'll monitor from there.
Yeah, it's just we'd just be testing a whole bunch of new stuff, so I'd rather it be slightly lower, but realistically that can be easily bumped up to 4,200, what currently the mod is sitting at. So probably within the first week that will get bumped up. It's just initially we're putting it at a lower slot count just to make sure things run smoothly and everyone has a great time.
Yeah. And I hope after today Sean can get some more sleep.
Yeah, finally.
I've got to say, in the last few days, I've also had a lack of sleep.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, on Saturday I had to smack together a few teaser videos. And there were some last minute things that we had to do, but can I play ProMods without all the DLC maps? Unfortunately not, you need them all to be compatible. Is that correct, Nico?
Yes, that's correct. And for future DLCs, normally when a new DLC hits, there's also a new game update, and the first one often, the first ProMods version after that often doesn't require the new DLC yet, but most of the time when the DLC is 2 to 3 months old, we will require it for several reasons, mostly because we use the assets everywhere. Since new DLCs offer a lot more variety and new buildings and whatnot, new technology as well. So we keep pushing to use the DLCs, but on the other hand, we do realize that it's not feasible for everybody to instantly buy it. So well, it always depends on the situation.
Indeed.
So, for example, with the France DLC. We had to do something because it was between Spain and the rest of the map. We couldn't just say no DLC or just completely ignore the DLC. That's like impossible for us to do. And well, with the Black Sea DLC coming, we will still have to see what we need to do, where we need to make changes, how to connect everything together. So that's I'm not going to say how quickly we can do it, but yes, at the moment all DLCs are required. So,
And for people watching the stream, shortly we are going to come up on one of the locations that we use to take screenshots for our teasers.
oh yeah.
And for those who know Scotland very, very well, we are now passing by Loch Ness. And the hotel that is now just behind me is one of the locations that we used.
If you look very carefully, we might be even able to see monsters at the lake.
Yeah. You know,
Maybe Nessie will show herself. You never know.
Who knows? Fun fact. I don't know who has seen the teaser image that I posted on Instagram today, this morning, but that reference was not only for what we are releasing, but also because it was on this very location. You see that castle up ahead? That was in the background, and that castle sits right in the middle of Loch Ness, and here's a hotel. Shadow, what are we releasing? We are releasing, well, more like revealing and announcing support for ProMods in multiplayer. I also saw a few questions that were about how ProMods would work in multiplayer and how it could be installed. If I remember correctly, one of the files needed to run ProMods will be downloaded through our launcher. Specifically, that would be the def file, the definitions file, so that we distribute one definitions file that will work for everyone, since those who know ProMods very well know that once you want to download it, you have to compose your definitions file, because you have many different options. Obviously that would not work.
I'm sorry to weigh in, it's not 100% true what you're saying at the moment.
Okay.
You will require both files, so you need to download everything for single player, as you're used to do, so you need to download the def file. But in order to make multiplayer work, you need both our def file and the one for multiplayer.
Alright.
Because our file is only for the compatibility with the player.
Correctly, yes. Because there are some technical limitations which cannot be overcome by creating a single player and multiplayer game. we have to do it this way. But in
Yeah,
the end,
well-
this is the best solution for the user. You can just download the single player stuff and it should work.
Yeah.
That's because that was the most important request we had, is that we keep the distribution of downloads and nothing changes for the user, because it would be way too complex to create two versions of ProMods or create
Yeah,
something new. We wanted to keep the same, and well, thankfully, no, not Crash, Sean was able to provide such support from the launcher. So that was
Shortly, if you played ProMods before in single player, you don't have to do anything.
yes,
With an exception, making sure that you have the newest version of ProMods.
correct. Yes.
And Sean, I know there are 2 add-ons for ProMods. Are both of them required to play on multiplayer?
None of them is required, but only one of them is supported, and that's the West add-on
The Middle East.
for ProMods.
Middle East.
Or
Yeah.
Middle East. So,
It's like a DLC, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look at it that way. Yeah.
somebody is asking if it's free.
ProMods is essentially always free, so you can always download for free, but we offer a paid download as well, which is easier and does support our infrastructure by paying $1 for the download. So technically it's all free. The only thing you need to buy are the DLCs. So and of course the base game.
There's some people are asking about the speed limit for the ProMod server. That's going to be the same as Simulation 1. What is currently, which 60 in the cities and then 110
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Well, Nico, I'm pretty sure that
Yes.
your download servers are going to take a huge beating when everything goes live.
Yeah, I fear so. We will be taking some measures to make sure it's possible. But well, in the end, let's see how it will go in the first version. We just need to gather some data on how everything goes. It could be that the first time is a little bit more stressful than the second time, but well, if you
As with
never
all
try
new
something-
things.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's the same as with the server slots. You guys first need to have something to work on.
Yeah, indeed.
So once you get the base reading, it becomes more clear what you do. Most probably, the ProMods 2 version will be available sooner than the multiplayer version of ProMods, so that people have the time to download it. But yeah, that's basically. I guess we will take measures to make sure that people can download their stuff in time and spread it out. So let's see how well those measures will be, and hopefully people do respect the fact that everything we do, ProMods and multiplayer, is essentially a hobby project we do next to school time or work time or whatever.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, after a while, there are just some technical limitations to what you can do without running a multi-million-dollar company. That's just a fact of life. So. But we will try everything to make sure the download procedure goes as smooth as possible.
Yeah, chat is moving fast, and this is a windy road.
I'm actually, well, yeah, I'm kind of glad I don't have to read it because it's I've seen
You
the chat
should.
going, and it's so fast. I can barely focus on
Yeah,
one line. It's awesome. This support, it's crazy.
yeah. I mean,
Never
the
expected
response
so
on
many
this
people
stream
to
is very,
show
very,
up.
very good. And by now, our trailer should also be released. I think like 15 minutes ago. Should also be live on the channel. So anyone who wants to rewatch it can jump over there. And you guys also published your channel like I think 20 minutes before the stream.
Correct. Yes, we
And
put
for
the
those
trailer
wondering,
first
it
one.
was actually planned.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of speculations the last days on the social media channels about people thinking it was just a one-way project, so it was just multiplayer doing something, but it's actually not. It's a well thought out plan to get these teams together.
Yeah, indeed. Would you get real brands as well? Well, it's also a mod, so you've also heard right now from Nico that making everything compatible is not as straightforward as it seems.
In the end, there won't be any difference between ProMods single player and ProMods multiplayer, apart from that in single player you play alone.
You have AI there.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I mean, I don't know. The AI can be pretty bad, so and in multiplayer you can play with friends. I mean, drive together, have fun.
And for those who are having questions about this, don't worry, we will be bringing up knowledge-based articles about ProMods. On our website we will keep it related to everything that you need to do to make it work in multiplayer. But for any more technical stuff about ProMods, you should always go to their forums, because they are the guys who made it and can actually properly help you.
Yeah, correctly. Yeah, we agreed on the fact that multiplayer-related problems should be addressed on multiplayer channels, and issues related to ProMods should be directed to us. For example, bug reports or whatever issue you can find on our map. But we are in close contact at the moment, so I guess that we will for sure make it work.
Yeah.
Two different channels.
Euronext, yes, indeed. We will be putting up a blog post when we actually do the full release, because this is just announcement reveal. And by then we will also have our knowledge base articles ready. Which, as Smokey has said earlier, but I'll recap. We are hoping for the end of the month, but we will give all the developers, Sean, Crash and everyone at ProMods the time to properly finish everything, to make sure everything is smoothed out, because now we are playing on two betas at once. We are playing on ProMods 2.42 beta, and although we are on the live servers, we are working with some beta versions of our own config files and all internal stuff, so
Well, do not forget Track SMP is still in alpha.
that as well. But yeah, you get the gist. So we are hoping by the end of this month, but realistically it will probably be near the beginning of October or halfway through October.
Yeah.
So a question, will there be any restrictions on double trailers in HEP?
That would be a question for Smoke.
It's actually something we should do together with other management, especially game management, to see what restrictions will be.
I
Where
can think
they-
of one road in Iceland where we definitely should do something. But yeah, that remains to be seen. Will you guys ever add any other kinds of mods like RGL and those things? Where is the ferry?
It's,
Oh yeah, you have to
the
turn
right
around here.
to drive around.
Oh, we don't have non-collision here. Okay, we take the ferry to Torshaven. So see, that is something that we will have to address, because in this ferry there is no non-collision zone.
That's interesting. Yeah. Somebody make a note of that.
And
We are going to Torshaven, right?
Torshaven, and Torshaven, the ferry itself has a non-collision, but I believe as soon as you exit the ferry, it ends. Oh no, it's the entire port area. Nice. And here we drive on the correct side of the road.
Yeah, but this is like one of those classic examples why we say that it looks really easy to bring the two things together, but actually it's quite difficult to get all these little situations figured out, fixed, and
Yeah.
ready. I mean, what we like. I don't know who said it, but somebody said it in the start when we started working together. Truckers MP was never designed to support ProMods, so certain stuff just didn't work. For example, the dots in the navigation just wouldn't work.
At
And
least on the
ProMods,
mountains.
yeah, and ProMods was never designed for multiplayer, so there were a lot of collision problems and that kind of stuff. So we still, I guess, we still have some things to iron out, but I guess that a lot of people are happy anyways to be able to.
Okay,
So
someone
finally
else has
drive.
teleported. I
I
guess we
needed to
take.
refuel.
Yeah, so a dot driving around. I guess we're not going to take the ferry to Iceland straight away, but show us around here because I know this island is very, very beautiful.
Yeah, that's alright.
The Faroe Islands are probably one of the, well, at least in my opinion, one of the more beautiful areas in the map.
It has some very, how should I say it, artistic
Flair to it.
artistic flair. Yeah, I know that there are some areas in ProMods, for example, this Iceland and in the north of Norway, where we have a lot of focus on the scenery, so on the nature side of things, which is sometimes even more challenging than building cities. And other parts of ProMods, like Germany, is really focused on autobahns and more like
Industry.
industrial architecture. Yeah, so and that brings well, a nice well, variation to the game, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, indeed.
over here, it feels like you're on holiday, even though you're driving around in a truck.
Yeah, indeed. We also took a bunch of screenshots here on this island, which will probably be put up on our socials in the next coming days, weeks. Tomorrow obviously is Thursday, so for us we have our classical Throwback Thursday moment. After that, who knows, we might switch up with a little bit more community posts again, like we did in the past. But we also might continue posting more screenshots of ProMods.
There are a lot of questions asking where this will be released, or players can play this now.
You can't play it now, but yeah, as I said earlier, we are aiming for the end of this month, but this is unlikely. We also want the developers to give them the proper time to finish everything.
Yeah, we need to do
Expenses
everything
actually.
properly.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Yeah, realistically, I guess within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, somewhere early October, mid-October will be a more realistical target.
Correctly.
And the version of ProMods that Drugs and P will work with is not currently released. But yeah, will be released soon. Is that right, Nico?
Yes, you will need to download the version 242. Actually, one thing one uncertainty we have at the moment for the release is, of course, what SCS will do. They have been teasing with a new truck. We have no idea when this truck will come, so there is a chance that we will release something and that within a few weeks we have to release an updated version because ETS2 updated. So
Yeah, the same goes for us.
yeah, so we have to. Well, I mean, it all depends. For who knows? Maybe tomorrow a new ETS2 version will release. Then we need a new ProMods version anyway. So then 242 will be the new version. But it could also happen that it will take longer. So we first have 242, and then in a few weeks we will need another update for the new version. It's hard to say, but I guess that our plan is to just release it whenever this is ready, regardless of what SCS will do, to just give players the chance to play it online. I guess that would be a fair thing to do. But well, when it will be available, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
at ProMods we always say it will be ready when it's ready. So.
Yeah, that's what we say as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And for the people who are watching and thinking like it looks ready right now, it sort of does. This is still a beta version. We still have some bugs we need to fix. But we are fairly confident that we can get a version quite quickly up and running. So well, I guess you guys need to follow the social channels of both developers to know when it's ready for usage.
Indeed.
And I know this was a sneaky shout out to subscribe to our social media channels.
Yeah, yeah, but you can. We're partners anyway, so. Yeah, and if at any, you should definitely follow them on their socials, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube, and also follow us on our socials for the latest updates.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
I
hasn't.
guess we will both show when it's ready. But,
Yeah. It hasn't been said already, but we need to do one final shout out to our main developer, NWL, who has worked some magic when Sean had some issues.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Fortunately, he couldn't be here because he's also a very busy man.
It's actually amazing that so many people turn up on a Wednesday evening.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. And
Wednesday evening is like almost like internationally known as an evening that where nothing happens. But
yeah, indeed.
as in, it was probably the only date possible for all developers
Yeah.
within the next week. So that was quite interesting.
And not only developers, also our managers from
Yeah,
Personality.
okay, yeah, okay. I'm sorry for calling you guys developers.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen some other things pop up in chat. Namely, something that is also related to the time of year, namely winter mod. Winter mod support this year is going to be tricky, I guess. I guess for our normal servers, wouldn't be an issue. Well, you would need to get it supported and also have the mod maker agree to it, like we had to do last year. But for ProMods, I don't know if the winter mod from Frosty that we usually use will work on ProMods.
I don't know as well. I have to say, if we have to develop it by ourselves, it will be highly unlikely that there will be a winter mod.
For Truckers MP Vanilla, let's call it, probably it's a possibility that we will have winter mod. For Truckers MP ProMods, question mark.
At the moment, we don't really have any developer who would have the time for something like that. But I guess if somebody from the community, well, maybe somebody from the community is able to give some support with creating a winter mod for ProMods, I guess that even for single player users, it's still a requested feature.
Yeah. See, how many people do we have in the stream? 1174 people watching in stream right now. Hello everyone. Yeah, we are going to probably take a little break here and see if we can answer a little bit more questions in chat, because reading the chat and driving, and especially if the chat is moving this fast, is not very easy, but we'll make it work nonetheless. So yeah, indeed, Johnny, we know that it's Frosty Winter Mod by Grimes. This is the one that we use every year. Oh, good question for Nico. Alex asks, how does it work with external contracts?
In ProMods or with multiplayer combined?
In ProMods. In multiplayer, there's no issue on vanilla.
Okay, in ProMods, as far as I know, external contracts do not work on map mods. Because, because of reasons, the way external contracts are set up in SCS games. So, but correct me if I'm wrong, and then I'm especially looking towards my development team, but as far as I know, external contracts are not supported by ProMods or by map mods.
I think you can even check it now, because we are on ProMods.
Let's see.
You can see external contracts.
Yeah, as
Nothing in this city. I guess probably there are a few cities in the base map where it would work, but
yeah. It only works with unmodded companies, cities. It's impossible. It's even impossible for us to make it work. So no, external contracts are not supported.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that is the reality of mods.
Yeah. Well, there are a few things that just cannot be supported by mods, and I guess external contracts has some sort of check if you really did that journey. So when you make map mods, you can probably fool external contacts really easily. So,
Oh. Azir says in chat, winter weather mod by Gram supports ProMods. That's something
Okay.
we have to test then.
yeah, I mean, it's something we could look into. If we could make it work this year, it would be really cool. Otherwise, probably next year.
Alright.
Yeah, well, maybe this year we don't have a winter because of global warming.
Who knows,
Never
yeah.
know.
Who knows? Alright. Any chances for truck mods in the next 5 years or so? Who knows? Usually we don't support truck mods, but hey, we also said that about ProMods, so who knows? Might be. I'm looking at Sean and Smokey mostly for this.
I didn't hear the question. Sorry, I was
So,
catching up with stuff.
you were falling
I
asleep.
was catching up with stuff. No.
Someone asked about other truck mods in Truck SMP.
Other truck.
Yeah, or other mods in general. Let's put it like that.
Like that. Well, it wasn't originally the plan to support any mods. If we want to support mods, we will firstly see if there's a need for it, if there's a big request for it, and then we will have a look at the possibilities with our development to see if we can have such thing, and if the answers to all these questions is yes, then we will of course approach the original creator of the mod, and then it's just working together with them, hopefully in a way like we could do with ProMods. It was very, very nice to start the talks and to work with them to get everything sorted.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's as I said, that's something we have to the
Yeah, as
my Discord is getting fun, but I don't see any.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Wow.
For those that have been following the stream since the beginning, we did a quick explanation about the whole process to get it working. So, those might have heard already that it wasn't a super easy and straightforward process to have both mods working together and be compatible fully without issues.
Well, there's the problem when a new version comes out, you need to support it, and all mods need to support it. So, if you are using some mods, you need to wait for their support, or you destroy your profile. Just it will not work anymore. Then I've also wanted to say that in 2015 we were working on ProMods support. You can still find this whole stream.
Yeah, indeed.
As you can see, even at the time, 4 years ago, it was not to bring it. Even when it looked prepared, it wasn't finished due to issues. And I hope now everything will be okay. I guess with good communication, all issues can be solved.
Someone asked if I can show Hungary on the map. Of course I can. The base map of ETS was already a lot of dragging around with the new DLCs, but now it has become a lot more to drag, especially here, Middle East. If you're planning a road you can basically, I think, how long would it be? 6,000 or 7,000 kilometers from all the way from the most northern point in Iceland to all the way down in the Middle East here. That will be a good challenge for anyone who's looking for a challenge. And yeah, you have a part of Spain, you have Andorra. Obviously we have our base part here. We have Greece. We have some parts of the Balkan. So yeah, it has become a very, very big map. And for those wondering, maybe when we arrive in our destination in Iceland, we can go to Svalbard. The very most northern part of the map, I guess. After that, it's just the Arctic Ocean, and then it ends. Some people are also asking about the reconnect button for multiplayer. Yeah.
It has been a question for a long time, and we are not planning on bringing it anytime soon due to how our system works.
Yeah. When will it come? It will come very, very soon. Ideally, but it's not realistically, by the end of this month. But a more realistic target will be around mid-October. Then everyone has plenty of time to look for issues. As there are still a few things that we need to sort out. Sorry if this has already been asked, but will we have to pay in order to download ProMods through Truckers MP? You don't download ProMods through Truckers MP, so every installation of ProMods will go through their own website as you're used to. And you have two options. One is the free option, which you have to download a couple of files and then combine them. Or if you want to support ProMods, you can pay $1 and then you get a single file, which is much easier and also much faster to download. And that way you are supporting ProMods for their infrastructure, because as the mod is relatively big in size, all that upstream and downstream is relatively costly to do it efficiently. Someone says, I will pay $10 to ProMods. I guess Nico will be very glad to hear that.
Well, you are able to donate to our project, so any donations are welcome. So, but I guess that accounts for multiplayer as well. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing
indeed.
in the world is free. So somehow you have to pay for something, and paying from your own wallet is something that is.
Yeah.
You don't do that for fun. Let's say it like that.
Ghost Zero asks, will Iceland have its winter luck in single player? Anything you see in ProMods single player will also be available in multiplayer, because we are just putting the map out there and how it is. We don't make any changes to the ProMods map. So if you want icy, slippery dirt roads, you got it. I also saw some questions about an option to hide the email in Truckers MP. I guess that will be from the login screen. Maybe Sean or Crash can answer that.
Well, they better make a suggestion on forum.
Yeah.
But yeah, this can be done.
Yeah.
There's also some questions about switching between servers. As far as I'm aware, it does work when you have ProMods in your mods folder. You can still play on normal servers, but your profile would
not have the
recommend
mods,
being on a
yeah.
different profile.
Yeah.
Due to the way ETS2MP works. So you will not need to uninstall ProMods to play on normal servers. You will just need a different profile. Otherwise, yeah, you have issues with the game then.
Yeah. Well, I could also bring some peace of heart about switching from ProMods to normal and back. To play ProMods and multiplayer, you don't need to have the mods in your mod manager available. They just need to be in your mods folder of ETS. Not your ETS MP folder, but your ETS folder. In there, if they are in the mod folder there, the server will detect it and load you. If you have them in your mod manager, no problem. I also took some screenshots for our socials in single player with the files in my mod manager, and then I went back on to one of our live servers, and you basically get the standard SCS behavior that you get transported back to your default garage. Obviously, any items that are mod related, which ProMods doesn't have, luckily, they become unavailable.
Well, simply, if the game cannot detect ProMods, you cannot even join the server at the first.
Yeah.
On the login screen, it will say that you are missing some files and that you cannot join that.
Indeed.
I saw something interesting coming up, might be answered by Sean as well. Will we be able to use ProMods on our event service? imagine we get an event server request approved, will we be able to host it in Iceland or somewhere else on the map modification?
Well, I guess this can be done, but we only need to add ProMods to the event server request system.
I think that's something that will be appreciated by the community. So yeah, I think we might look into that.
Right, people are asking about ATS. I'm guessing this is about ATS ProMods, which as far as I know is still way in development.
Yes. It is.
So that's the answer.
That's all you're getting.
ATS ProMods is still being worked on, so who knows, maybe when it gets finished we might also support that, but
Well, one must not forget that ATS is still ETS2's little brother. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that ATS has only a quarter of the player base that ETS2 has.
yeah, indeed.
So people tend to forget that since the player base is less, the amount of mods and support is also less.
Yeah.
But, we are still working on ProMods ATS, don't worry. But as always, we do not set release dates. So somewhere in the future.
Yeah. Someone asked about will these MP truckers trails be available? Not yet. I'm guessing now that we have both the Truckers MP skin and Promo skin one will be available at some point in the future, but there is still a lot of work to be done on those. These are really early test versions, as we can say.
Yeah, they have been done only for the media stuff, like screenshots, the stream, etc.
Yeah. In the future it might come, but at this moment they're not ready.
Yeah, because as I said earlier, they are not compatible. They do not work on every trailer that is in game. Only on a few selected.
Yeah. How about the no damage option? Yeah. The ProMods team is kindly enough to provide us with a dev file that will be a single dev file to use on multiplayer, and I'm guessing the no damage is disabled on that.
Yeah, as it's also against rules, as far as I remember.
Alright. People have now been asking for us to start driving again, so we'll start driving again, and we are going to continue towards Iceland. Take the ferry over.
Oh, we need to drive again.
Yeah, we need to drive again.
Let's start the truck.
The good thing about being so far up north is it's 2 AM, but it's still light out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually.
Alright, someone is spamming AI,
Wait,
so
which one?
I will explain again something I said in the beginning of the stream. Unfortunately, because okay, I made it through. Because SCS is still working on it. At some point, we had a version of AI integration that was very close to be finished, but then SCS started to do a lot more work on it, and in almost every version there are some small or larger tweaks to the AI, which makes it for us almost impossible to properly support it at this time.
Well, there are still issues that need to be fixed to be fully integrated, because we want to minimize the amount of random bugs that can occur.
Yeah. Tell SCS to delay the Renault Range D, yeah. I wish we could do that. But yeah, with Renault Range D, it still remains to be seen how that will impact the game files.
Somebody asked if we can't replace the AI from SCS. Well, developing an own AI is a pretty hard task. It's not just one button.
I guess developing this mod or the ProMods mod would be a piece of cake compared to creating a whole new AI.
Oh, I know for sure. I mean, SES spent what? 20 years making games?
Yeah.
I guess the last 15 years on making truck games, and still it's quite hard to implement a proper AI. But well, we shouldn't underestimate Sean. Maybe he has a good night and he can make something.
We
Or
are still
I'm
looking
not
into
well.
the. No. We are still looking into the integration. Like, it is not dropped, the project is still in work, but yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
The size of the project is probably similar to the size of Truckers SMP in the current state. And we have been developing Truckers SMP for 5 years.
Well, 5 years since release, but I know much more before
yeah.
that.
I meant for the public.
I also see people talking about the car in ProMods. Yes, indeed, the cars and the caravans do work here. We are currently not driving with it, but during our tests and our recording, we use it.
To
and
be
it works.
exact, I think that caravans do not work in the new companies that are brought by ProMods.
Yeah. To pick up jobs, no, but just driving around is perfectly fine. Alright. Back to Torshaven, or however you pronounce it. When does Truckbook support ProMods? I don't know. It's not made by us, so I have no idea. I guess you have to spawn the Truckbook developers.
I think Truckbooks works with ProMods.
I don't know.
I think it actually works. I think it actually works with all map mods.
I actually have no idea, so.
Yeah, it's BTC stuff, though.
Yeah, ask them.
Do we intend to replace this current scout car? No, there are not really plans. I believe last year we have introduced a whole big update for the scout car with regards to the modeling and accessories and all that stuff, but so far there are no plans to replace it.
There's a question about how many slots the ProMod server will have. Initially, when we release, we'll have 2,500, but likely they'll get bumped up to around 4,200 quite quickly, depending on how stable it is. And will ETS2 map be updated? I am working on it. No ETA, so in one day. Soon TM.
Yeah, I guess including a whole new map basically, because the entire map has been reworked with promos, is a whole lot of work.
Yeah, because Crash is the one who's working on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only one, the moment with Cat.
Only one. I did make some progress the other day, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
But yeah, this part of the map looks especially cinematic.
Yeah. Now with the darker sky
Yeah.
than the clouds.
The midnight sun. But eagle-eyed around you, here in Torshaven, we've actually taken the screenshot for the thumbnail of our release trailer. Not on this road particular, but more, it was in the center, around the church. Those location hunters around you. I know there are a few, I've seen them in our Discord. Here to our left on that road, if you go there, you'll see where it was taken. And to everyone in chat, sorry if your reply or question gets whizzed by in chat. That's a disadvantage of having a good 1,000 people in there.
Yeah, but nice to see that people are interested in what we are doing. As this is a good cooperation.
Yeah, I think so too. I gotta say, I'm glad all that mysticizing and hyping up on Discord and on our socials has worked out. Alright, we have to take the ferry from Torshaven to that one thing that you can't pronounce. As I said.
Actually, we should have asked Mandelsov to join as well, because he's like the king of pronouncing different cities.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
unbelievable the amount of, actually, generally it's unbelievable what he knows, but how he is able to pronounce every city correctly, it's like crazy, ridiculous.
yeah. I still hope that Skull can join us, but he's also from New Zealand, so, or from Australia, I can't remember exactly.
New Zealand, yes.
New Zealand.
It's actually quite early in the morning over there, so
May or may not join us. If he joins us, then you'll see.
About 13 past 8 in the morning. Not too early.
Meanwhile, it's almost 10:15 here.
yeah.
Right, has everyone made it across the ferry already?
I have.
Yeah, we have.
We are all here.
Alright, let's go. What about collision zones in ProMods? Asked Martin. Well, earlier in the stream we found a place that didn't have a collision zone in the ferry, so those things need to be fixed before we release it. But yeah, obviously, because ProMods adds so many assets and prefabs, yeah, then it could be that some companies or some ferries lack the non-collision zones.
I think we have added support for almost 500 different types of assets
Yeah.
the last few weeks, so we did some good progress there. But yeah, as you said, I guess we have thousands of different locations where there's possibly an issue. Yeah, it's statistically impossible to have everything right.
Yeah, we're driving on ice now, so
yeah, I was completely caught by surprise how slippery this was.
Yeah, this is the winter mod.
yeah, guys, everyone interested? We have now 360 days a year support for winter mod.
Yeah.
Just go to
Actually,
Iceland or Svalbard.
This road might actually be quite dangerous in multiplayer. Imagine other people coming the other way, actually slipping away, not even
Yeah, as you
crashing
can
on purpose, but crashing
Yeah.
by accident. It's like ridiculously slippery over here.
And this is not even one of the worst roads out there.
Oh no, this is actually the road that's still doable with a normal truck.
Yeah, indeed. There are roads here in Iceland that are completely snowed in and have a lot of potholes in them. I know. It was when I joined the ProMods project support. It's one of the first things I said. We need to go to that road.
It was fun, but it was actually quite a bad idea because I guess everybody got stuck.
Well, we actually made it through the only I forced us on a road that clearly says on the map is only for cars and not for trucks.
That's
But
true.
I say, hey, let's do it.
I guess
YOLO.
you were the one who actually were quite successful. I can remember that I flipped like twice and got stuck at least 3 times. Or
Yeah, we
something.
made it through, but there was like what? Yeah, at a certain moment you enter a part of the road where there is like boulders blocking the road, so a truck can technically not fit through. But we forced ourselves through. But at the second, I think at the second or third boulder part, then I had to teleport myself out because I couldn't pass.
Well, let's hope that road doesn't become as busy as the roads around Calais and Duisburg.
Well, there is actually another famous road or infamous road similar to that. When ATS first got released on the old map scale, there was this like dirt road going around Oxnard or towards Oxnard,
Okay.
and everyone was going there because for some weird reason, even though it was a longer route, the GPS took you on that road. And instead of staying on the main road, everyone's taking the windy road that just goes parallel to the main road, and it's like you can barely fit one truck, let alone 2 trucks passing each other, or those super long fuel cisterns.
Well, I mean, the roads we just used on the Faroe Islands near Torshaven, they are quite small. I'm quite curious how that will develop in multiplayer and how
Yeah, indeed.
how bad of a traffic jam. I hope that people will be kind to each other and
And
let them by.
I know of another road in the northern parts of Europe, from the Kirkenes quarry towards Kirkenes.
Yeah, ridiculously small.
The eagle-eyed around you, or those that were here at the beginning of the stream. In our release trailer, we actually took that road, and as you can see, it's not super easy, but it's doable. But it's just more technical, and I would say not for the beginner. But yeah, I would say in these parts of the map, just because your GPS says you can drive a certain speed as a truck, you shouldn't necessarily do it. How will GPS navigation work in ProMods? It works just like it does in the base map. No difference there. And I saw a question about truck-trailer combinations that would be added with ProMods. We don't at this stage support the ProMods trailer mod, or trailer add-on, as I should say it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, who knows? But at this stage, we will only be working with the base mod of ProMods and the Middle East add-on. Ice again. Ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. And Augusto, yes, some parts of Spain exist in ProMods, as well as Andorra, which is the mini state in between France and Spain, which I love to go snowboarding to, because it's a very nice country. I've been there 4 times so far, in the winter and 1 time in summer.
I've never been there, but still I developed it.
Yeah, you got some stuff right. But obviously, with a map that needs to be scaled down, you can't include everything as it is
Oh,
in
you
real
need
life.
to make so many decisions. I mean, a normal city has like hundreds and hundreds of roads, and an ETS2 average city has like 10.
Yeah.
So you really need to extract the features. And then, not to mention, you've never been there, so it's sometimes hard to get the feeling. And then, lastly, I mean, ProMods is already almost 7 years old, and some parts of the map are just showing their age, just as CS Germany is showing its age,
Yeah.
becoming outdated. And we
Yeah,
are working
Germany,
on
Belgium, France, well,
Yeah.
all parts of France, the UK.
Yeah, the UK is particularly notorious. But we have the same problem. I think, well, some of you guys probably saw that the ProMods trailer was recorded on the Scania test track, which has been updated for this version. Which was actually not really planned, but we had an event with you guys, with the multiplayer guys, driving around there, and everybody from the ProMods team was a bit disappointed because it looked old, which it is. It's already like 6.5 years old. So they said, well, okay, let's just change it. And I think it has been like the quickest project ProMods ever did. It was updated within 2 days or something. It's ridiculous. I think almost every developer had ideas and plans and whatever, and in the end, I think Bricks at Home, which many people probably know as a name, also from his YouTube channel, he in the end made a lot happen over there. And, it was quite interesting to see how driving on multiplayer put all the devs together to make some big changes.
Oh. Don't worry, I'm still alive. Somehow.
Yeah, that looked really slippery in front of me.
Yep.
Reckless driving.
I report for reckless driving.
To my defense, I was also looking at Josh didn't do, but
This bridge might be fun in multiplayer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because you can count on it that people will not wait for each other.
because there is no traffic light.
Yeah. Even then, they still ignore the traffic light.
Yeah, because I think in single player this road has AI disabled, as in there is no AI because of these situations.
Yeah.
The game can deal with it, so I guess it's up to the players now to solve the issue.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you see the issue? If SCS updates this, it can be supported, then we would have to change our AI mod again.
I guess somebody just joined.
I see
Maybe
Skull.
Skull.
Hello, Skull.
Yeah. Good
Hi,
morning.
good evening, or good morning,
Hello.
wherever you are in the world.
So yeah, Skull has just joined another one of the big guys at ProMods.
Yeah, we can hear some echo from a skull.
I'll turn my volume down.
Thank you.
Careful, ice. In an uphill turn.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I almost ran straight into that post.
Yeah, that's why I slowed down. Ooh.
Yeah, these roads are like really tricky.
But they're fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, this is where the challenge happens for truck drivers or truck players.
Will we support random events? At the moment, we don't support random events, so our advice to everyone when playing multiplayer, that will be base, vanilla multiplayer, and ProMods multiplayer, is to turn random events off because it might create some awkward situations.
Actually, the random events will be disabled soon by the multiplayer client. And Smoke left us, as I can see.
Yeah, his computer crashed. Alright, here you can already see what some of the challenges will be here in Iceland,
Oh god.
and it becomes increasingly more difficult and worse. And since we're all driving with empty trailers, we're making it more difficult for ourselves, because we have less traction.
Well, let's hope we can manage.
Yeah, for those that are asking about the GPS will work just normally as it does in the base game. ProMods doesn't make any changes to that.
Yeah. Only a small change that has been. That was it worked for 1 week.
Sean has some flashbacks. Oi. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties to get the GPS working at first. Sean in the end managed to get it working, so it was,
Yeah, with help from WL4.
yeah.
Will HC and Beatable working in ProMods? As far as I know, they don't generate jobs in ProMods. Well, at least not in the areas where it's not already supported by the base game itself. Is it correct, Nico?
I'm sorry, I'm concentrating so hard on getting on this hill. What did you ask?
So there was a question about B doubles. So basically the double trailers from Scandinavia and HCT trailers from Finland. Will they also work on your mod?
Yes, they are. As local law allows them, they are enabled. So I guess in most Scandinavian countries they are enabled.
Yeah.
And I believe they are enabled in the Netherlands, probably Belgium too. I
Not-
guess.
Not Belgium.
No. Okay, well Germany allows them to now as well, and Spain too, I guess. I'm not sure in which countries exact, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
they
think-
are.
It's safe to say wherever they're working in base game to generate jobs, they'll
Yes.
also work here.
Generally speaking, yes. It might be that we are a bit behind with the official rules because they keep changing all the time, but I know that somebody did some changes with them the last year, so I'm guessing they are supported as expected.
I think you might want to slow down Prime. Nico's having trouble getting up this hill.
All right, I'll slow down.
Yeah, I might need to change my truck to manual for this road, but okay, now I got traction again.
Alright. Someone asked for when it gets released, so initially we were aiming for the end of the month, but there is still some work to be done, and it's not super realistic. So realistically, we are now aiming for mid-October, unless SCS brings out an update that breaks both mods, and that requires more work.
Okay, there's a question. If I've installed ProMods dev file in my mod folder, do I need to reinstall it from Truckers MP? No, you don't have to do anything if you have ProMods installed. Because everything is just done, that you do not have to add anything.
I see someone repetitively asking about Dutch city called Nijmegen. That city is way too close to Arnhem, which is already on the map, so there's no way that would actually fit.
It's actually quite sad that it doesn't fit because I'm living there, so...
So you should add it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So Smokey just messaged me that he has some issues with his computer, so he can't return immediately.
Actually, I lost Prime. Okay, I'm still going the right way. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're
I'm here again.
catching up now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had to keep driving straight on or not, and
Yeah,
I
just
had no
continue on the road. Yeah. Ooh, and I don't need to hit that barrier. Oh yeah, everyone's here. Let's
Yes,
go.
let's go.
Is there be other launcher for ProMods? No.
I guess not.
Everything will work in the action client and launcher. As I said, you don't have to do anything if you have ProMods already installed. Do I need ProMods to play on ProMods server? Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
obviously.
I think you do.
it would certainly be handy. Very beautiful landscape, yeah. I have to agree with you, Nendas.
Yeah, this looks like a winter mod, but it's actually not. To be honest,
Yeah.
this area has always been kind of a discussion in our team because, I mean, even in the summer, Iceland doesn't really have a lot of snow. However, personally, and some other developers agree with that as well, I like the fact that there is some snow available in the normal map, so there's some sort of variation in season.
Yeah, indeed.
So, and I guess, I mean, I think Iceland has been released like 3 years ago. It's live now for 3 years or something. 4 years. I think
it's been
most.
around 4.
Yeah, I guess I'm actually not even sure. It's actually quite old already. We did some updates already on it. And, I think a lot of people actually like the snowy roads
Yeah.
challenges. It
Farmer
gives,
Bass asks, will there be separate servers on TMP for normal and ProMods? Yeah, indeed. We will have a separate server for ProMods, which will have at its start 2.5k slots. And from there we will monitor and see if we have to increase it or not. And we also have to monitor how it behaves on the server with a lot of people. So yeah, remains to be seen. Coast to Coast for ATS? Nope, unfortunately not. From what I know about the Coast to Coast, it also doesn't add a lot of quality and is very much copy based. And obviously if we add support for other mods, we want to support mods that add quality to the game and make it interesting for everyone to be in. What have you done?
He said thank you, because you say that we want to add quality mods.
Any future plans with VTCs? Yeah, we do have plans with VTCs, but we're still working on that, so to keep you posted on that.
Not
Yeah, there are only
now.
a few devs, so
So another question, does 2.42 add other things as well as multiplayer support? The answer to that is not really. The Scania demo center has been updated and there's been a few bug fixes here and there. That's about it.
Correct.
I've also seen a lot of questions about garages, and just for you guys, I'll buy this here garage so you can see it works. Obviously. And good for me because then I can fuel up. Well, I still have plenty of fuel with me.
No collision zone right there.
Okay. Well, let's take a very small break for me.
Yeah, we'll take a small break here, answer some questions from chat, and I guess then we will quickly teleport to a different area of the map to do some sightseeing and close off the stream because we've almost been streaming for 2 hours.
ProMods will definitely be updated to be compatible with the Black Sea DLC. Exeter is actually an unreleased city, still in development. Yep, the Calais road is very different.
Farmer Bass asks, will it be in the updated version? Yes. Currently we are streaming here on the server on a beta version of 2.42 ProMods, and also with some beta files for TMP. So once those are ready, you'll be able to enjoy ProMods with your friends instead of driving alone. Yeah, Sean, unfortunately Nico is off. He's
I
just
tried.
back.
Oh, thank you.
He just made it back. Alright, reverse beavers. Even chat is saying it.
Yeah, actually that was quite a big mistake because I went to the toilet and I kept hearing that beeping sound, which was quite annoying, but I wasn't at my keyboard, so I couldn't do anything about it.
If SCS releases their trucking MMO, is that going to be the end of Truckers MP? Probably not, because I guess it will probably work differently than how Truckers MP is working, but it's a lot of work for them as well, and I also guess it's not super high priority to get it done.
I think that SCS will never release MMO, to be honest. I mean, they would release something like small lobbies or something, that they would have a few players and play there. Because for MMO you need a huge team, as you can see it on Truckers MP.
Yeah, indeed.
And still we are not able to cover all things.
Yeah, and their game engine is also not made for multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have to redo their entire engine. Has SCS considered working with you? Depends on what you call working with. There are some small contacts between, I guess, many of the mods and SCS, but actually partnering together, no. Butterfly Patel, yeah, SCS doesn't really officially support any mods. So yeah.
There was a question about external contracts. External contracts typically do not work on map mods, and the reason for that is that the cities and the companies that SCS load in World of Trucks are not 100% the same as the cities in the map mod. And so the vanilla cities that have been left unchanged will work, but places that have been changed in the map mod will not work. Therefore, it is probably not a good idea to try and run external contracts on ProMods.
Yeah, indeed. Oh my god, I'm browsing through our public Discord. And I feel like it's bad for some people in there because they've just downloaded ProMods to play a multiplayer, but 2.41 won't be available.
Oh, they tried. They didn't listen all the time.
It's specify, yeah.
No.
Multiple
guys.
times.
It will be 2.42 for multiplayer.
But yeah, they can test ProMods now.
They can test ProMods, I get used to it.
Well, at least if you manage to download 241, you're already like one step ahead. You know how to download the mod.
Yeah.
I fear you have to do it again. I'm sorry for that.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the version of ProMods that we will be supporting is not currently available for download.
Yeah. Alright, let's answer a few more questions.
And ProMods won't be required to play on normal servers. However, if you want to play on the ProMods server, you will have to have ProMods.
Yeah, obviously.
And
Oh,
with ProMods, you also need all the DLCs. So
Indeed.
that's
The map DLCs.
yes, map DLCs. Yeah, you don't need the Estonian paint job DLC in order to
Yeah,
run ProMods.
Map DLCs are required. Still about trucking, the Englishman. Not sure if this has been asked, but with ProMods coming to TMP, will Middle East add-on be supported? Also, yes. Middle East will be supported. It's not required to run it, but it is supported. However, the trailer add-on is not supported. So where do you guys want to go next for a quick drive to for like 15-20 minutes?
I don't
guess-
know, maybe somebody in the chat.
Okay, chat, where do you want us to go? Shit, I see Wales, Middle East, Israel. Yeah, that's Middle East.
Oh, I don't have Middle
Poland.
East installed. So
Okay, so
No,
not
I
Middle
don't
East,
have Middle
guys,
East
not
either.
Middle East.
How about
Romania.
Greece?
Romania,
Murmansk.
no, Romania's terrible. Greece might be an interesting one. I mean, so far we've only shown areas up north.
Up north, yeah.
So
CJ, Murmansk, I would say go watch the release trailer. Murmansk is in there, or at least the area around Murmansk.
CD road. Yeah.
Turkey, Spain, Italy, Turkey, Romania, Rotterdam.
Turkey.
Turkey.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know we had Turkey in our mod.
I don't
but
see
okay.
it.
Do we?
It's not. It's not.
Nope. No Turkey.
But soon, with the DLC from SES coming,
Well,
Turkey will
Greece goes all the way up to the Turkish border, but that's it.
correctly. Yeah.
Romania, Poland, Lebanon, yeah, not Middle East, guys. Some of
Brazil.
the Brazil.
Okay.
Greece, Cyprus, Greece,
I guess.
Chinese.
I guess
okay.
asking the chat was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think Chad would like to see the racetrack probably.
We
I
can
saw
go to the
Corsica in France, but as you can see here on the map, Promos hasn't added. Maybe an idea for you guys.
Oh, I
Argentina,
guess
yeah,
the
sure.
the racetrack might be an idea. I don't know.
If you want to show it, of course.
We can have a quick look and then go down to Greece if you want.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Or if the guys in chat want a challenge, we can have a quick look at the racetrack and then go to Andorra. That also has some nice technical roads to drive. But we'll see from there. Duisburg!
Well, actually, we have a lot more highways in the Duisburg area, so I guess should work
Bayonne in
better.
France.
But
Where's the racetrack, by the way? I can't remember.
it's Södertälje here in
Södertälje.
yeah, next to Stockholm.
Next in Stockholm.
Stockholm, yeah, indeed.
But what I want to say, if we are doubting between Greece and Andorra, then I would veto my way in and say Greece.
Okay, Greece. Greece it is, people. Greece it is.
I mean, Andorra is nice, but it's really outdated.
Although, yeah, it looks nice. I took
But,
screenshots there.
yeah, I know. It's like it's really outdated, and I made it, and I feel.
You
shit.
feel bad about your own work.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel bad about how badly it aged. So it's,
Interesting.
I need to disable my GPS. Okay. And people in chat, for those who have watched the little teaser videos, we use parts of this track that's currently playing.
can somebody bring me to watch the test track?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do it myself.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I guess also a good thing is that there is a repair station here.
Yes, we have added repair and fuel.
Well, now, but it will not be when it's released.
Oh, it won't be when it's released.
Yeah, because now the racetrack has collisions, which is not really something you want to.
Ah, yeah,
have
but
here.
maybe fuel might be a good thing to have. I actually wanted to do some repairs on my Toyota as well. It appears I am not fully connected. There we go. Will any sanction of Truckers MP be reset on ProMods? No. Any bans that are issued on your account are full network wide. So it doesn't matter on which server you are, on which game you are, they are for the entire Truckers MP network. Any chance with promos being added that we could have a normal server now like the old EU2? No. We made the switch back to simulation settings to go back to our roots, and we will stay there.
The ProMods server will have the same settings as Simulation 1 does currently.
Yeah, indeed. Will Promos version 241 work on MP? No. We are currently on a Promods beta for 2.42, which will have multiplayer support.
You always need the newest version for Trucks MP.
Yeah. Currently we are not supporting other skins other than the official ones. The ones that you see in this stream on the trailers are early test versions that are currently only used for our media purposes. So for this stream and screenshots that we take for posters and all those things. when can we expect the Volkswagen Transporter Convoy van? This is something that is exclusively for use by our event team for our official events. Will it require Rust maps? No. This support is only for multiplayer and ProMods.
We want to do a quick loop and then we'll go down to Greece. Something?
Yep.
Fine by me.
That's it.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Are we going the shorter or the longer route?
We'll do the full loop.
Let's do the asphalt road, so the normal.
Yeah.
Sean has such a crazy fast truck. Speed tax.
Yeah.
Just private testing.
Reckless driving.
Ooh.
On the racetrack, yeah.
Yeah, so this racetrack will probably have the same rules as what we have for the ATS racetrack. And will be non-collision in the release version.
Yeah. I see. Well, I kind of like it with collisions. It has some realism, but yeah. Realistically,
Oh, yes.
for multiplayer, it's yeah.
I guess if you have like 50 people driving around here with collisions, it starts to become a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention people who will put trailers in the middle of the road or whatever.
Yes. Which they do on the ATS track, but it doesn't work. Luckily.
So guys, where are you?
We lost Nico.
I'm almost at the end.
I had an accident.
Yeah, I crashed into. I don't know if it was crash or if it was prime.
Yeah, it was me. I went flying.
I didn't crash that hard actually.
Where are you, Sean?
I guess he's here, right? Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, I finished the racetrack. There we go.
I guess I missed the turn somewhere.
Yeah, you did.
I try. That's basically why you shouldn't tailgate at such high speed. Yup. Is the
The
stream
racetrack with the speed. Yeah.
is the stream ending? Yeah, soon-ish. We're now going to Greece and show you around there a little bit, and then we will end the stream. Because for some of us here, it's almost 11 o'clock in the evening.
Ah, yeah.
My alarm will trigger in like 7 hours. So.
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning. Team Netherlands Gaming question at Truckers MP official: is it possible for you guys to add the RGL Scania T-mod to use by players like the Scout? This moment we have no plans, but we are open for suggestions for other mods. But yeah, obviously it remains to be seen and how popular they are, and most importantly, if we can get the mod owner to contact. So, this is not just a straightforward process to support other mods in multiplayer.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues with all various of mods. I just wanted to say that this racetrack will be interesting with the speed limiter.
Yep.
So you better bring some slower tracks. Otherwise it will be boring.
Will other map mods be included? Not at this point, at least. Nick Wakeling, thank you for doing as much as you do for these games. Thank you. It's always nice to hear that people appreciate what we do.
For sure.
Where is Smokey? Yeah, Smokey had some issues with his computer and he can't reconnect. Are collision zones working? Yes, they are. In the last few weeks, Nico and Sean have worked for about, what was it, 500 or so non-collision zones?
Well, not only me, actually, some ProMods developers also chipped in.
And other
Fixing
developers,
stuff.
Yeah. It's not on this Nickman scale.
Now that would be something. Alright, let's go to Greece.
Are we teleporting again?
Yeah. Crap.
I guess if we drive there, the stream will take quite a while.
Yeah, probably until somewhere tomorrow evening or so. Do I need 2 profiles now? Not necessarily.
So recommended.
No, it's recommended.
Eddie asks, we need to add some mods for ProMods, question mark? Yeah, obviously you need to install ProMods.
Yeah, we will have a knowledge-based article for installing ProMods.
Yeah.
If you don't have experience with this.
How long have you been hiding TMP and ProMods from us? A few months.
4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, anyone wants to go to Athens? Or, I don't know, somewhere in Greece?
Well, Athens isn't in the game yet, so.
Crap.
Well, you can go, for example, we can go to Thessaloniki or something and drive towards Kavala or something like that. Part of the highway.
I will just teleport to you.
Yeah.
You can teleport to me.
Yeah. What is your ID?
ID 3.
Nice. Didn't you want to end the stream? That's a nice question.
There's
We'll
a
end the
question.
stream once we get.
There's a question from Alexei about the def file and the navigation, the navigator colors, etc., etc. You will not be able to customize the def file for ProMods in multiplayer. It will just be the same settings for everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
So where are we headed?
But I want to add to that, you can still use it for single player, modifying your dev file, and you can still use that dev file as well to load multiplayer. So you don't have to do anything to change that. The multiplayer client will pick it up and fix it for you.
Yep, exactly.
Alright, I've been driving up front for the stream. I guess I'm going to follow one of you guys now.
Where are we headed to? Left or right?
I will put it on the map and you can follow me, I guess.
Yeah, we will follow you.
Okay, like I guess we are not making the stream very long, so we will just drive
Not
to
too long.
the
yeah.
next city.
We just want to show this country.
Okay, I'm I'm off. I don't know if
Yep.
people are following. Okay, excellent.
Oh yeah, here we have traffic lights again.
Yeah, we need to set a good example. So always stop when it's going red.
Andy, no, it doesn't need to be in your mod manager. So to play on multiplayer, all you have to do is place your ProMods files in your ETS2 mod folder, and then multiplayer will pick it up. But everything will be explained in our knowledge base articles that will come out. When DLC Portugal? Yeah, that is really up to SCS, we don't know. Well, Cresser, I usually stream for about 2 hours, so still doing fine. But we won't continue this very long because it's also 11 o'clock here.
Yeah, we have just wanted to answer all questions.
And show you around, basically. What would happen if Nico got banned while we are now partnering with him? Well, I think that would require Nico playing a lot of multiplayer, and I think he's busy enough with ProMods on its own.
Wait, I will get banned for a bad
Breaking
drive.
our rules.
Okay. Yeah, that would be quite unfortunate.
That would be embarrassing.
Well,
The guy is a good driver.
Yeah, he's better than Smokey.
Oh, shots fired.
How much for unban? We don't take bribes.
500 euro.
Damn it! A question for ProMods developers by Valley11. Are you planning to rework parts of Romania when the next DLC will be launched?
Yes and no. Current plan is to basically remove all of Romania for the new DLC. Since the current ProMods Romania is quite outdated. And at the moment we do not have a huge developer capacity, so I'm unsure if there will be developers who will start working in Romania. But maybe we will attract some new people. Who knows? But initially, I fear we won't have the resources to do much in Romania.
I think Bulgaria is actually going to be an interesting territory because there's a few things that will be mixing there with the DLC and our work.
Well, so far we haven't seen the DLC yet, so it's quite hard to make assumptions on something you haven't seen yet. So, or decisions, I should say. Making assumptions is really easy, but
Yeah.
deciding how to do something is a little bit
Different.
harder. Let's see what SCS will come up with. with the new DLC, we will finally have some really nice assets to use in Romania. So I'm guessing that if the future allows it, we will probably develop something over there.
I actually laid eyes on one of the upcoming DLCs of SES, but it was the Utah DLC when I was together with Smokey at ETRC Zoller.
Yeah. Well, Utah is going to be a really nice DLC as well, but for the other game, of course.
Well, it will be a busy place the first days again.
Yeah.
Which country or city took you the longest to build? Well, I'm not quite sure if we can answer that by country, but by city, there's at least 3 cities in the map that took more than a year to build.
Wow.
Barcelona, Vienna, and London.
Vince asked, will we need to buy all DLCs for ProMods? Well, you will at least need all map DLCs. The other DLCs that add custom items and paint job are not required, but map DLCs are an absolute must if you want to play on ProMods.
The main goal of ProMods has always been to complete Europe. Obviously, you know, we run into SES in some places where they are making expansions that we didn't quite expect. So to answer the question, will you complete the map of Spain? Of course. It's our intention to reach Gibraltar one day. We'll see how we get there, but someday it will be complete. A lot of the Balkan countries are already in the game, actually. Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, Republic of Macedonia, North Macedonia, whichever you want to use. We are currently working on Bosnia-Herzegovina, and I fear that Montenegro and Albania will be last.
Actually, somebody is working on Albania as well now.
Yeah, with Albania, I've been there last year.
Yeah, I've been there this.
And what about the Czech Republic?
What's with the Czech Republic?
I saw that you sent some posts that you are rebuilding that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the Czech Republic has been rebuilt and is still being rebuilt. The biggest hurdle to complete it would probably be Prague. Because the way that Prague is built in the vanilla game is nowhere near reality. So, that would require a lot of work.
Okay, thank you.
It would probably also require a 3D model of the SCS headquarters, so that won't make stuff easy.
When will Snow be coming back to TMP? We don't know yet. Might be that we support it again on our base servers. ProMods remains to be a question. Someone in chat already told us that the Frosty Winter mod by Grimes that we usually use for our, let's call it, vanilla servers from now on, that it also supports ProMods, but it has to be seen in the future on how that will work. SCS HQ is a must-have on the map for Czech Republic.
I kind of agree, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
I have to say that the offices are not really suited for trucks.
Yeah, would be a little bit difficult, but I guess it would be a nice Easter egg to have.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess we can for sure use the road where the offices are located. It's one of the bigger roads entering Prague, so I guess it's a possibility, but we probably need a developer who's dedicated to spend quite some time on such a project.
Yeah. Andreas Sørensen asks, how can we activate ProMods in TMP? Just like single player or differently? Everything will be explained in a knowledge base article that we will push out when we are close to release or when we release it. We plan to have it so that you don't have to have it in your mod manager, but the mod files for ProMods need to be in your ETS to mod folder. And then the server will pick it up if you try to connect. And the launcher and server will also load the mods in the correct order for you. Oh my god. This is a lot tighter than I expected.
Yeah, I had the same issue.
Try and drive into the marina, into that little dock. I believe that's here. A nice tight space down there.
Someone asked for the ProMods guys available here. Are you thinking of going back to London and make Heathrow a place where you can deliver and pick up loads?
Yes.
Well, yeah. It was always prepared to be there, but we decided in the end not to include it, to not further delay the city. So I guess somewhere in the future we will do it.
Oh, this is another missing non-collision zone.
Well, actually, the collision zone is there, but it's on the company prefab, which we just passed.
So. Oh, we just passed the
Oh wait, I parked
the
trailer.
marina.
Yeah, we got the trailer a little bit stuck.
Yeah, it is not collision area.
Ah, okay.
Good job.
If you can get around Nico, there's another place to turn around for it.
Okay, that's my bad.
I kind of hoped this would happen.
Oh, it's an interesting way to end the stream. I see that Sean is kissing the signs here as well. So.
I am not driving it often, okay.
If you go too far backwards, you probably will fall into the water with your trailer.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Okay,
Keep
well,
going straight, drive. Keep going straight.
oh, there's something at the end of that road?
Yeah, you can turn around the corner.
Oh yeah. You can actually drive all the way around the marina. I didn't.
Good.
Hawaii 50 asks, what about Middle East? The Middle East add-on is supported.
But it's not necessary.
Have you thought about launching the full map of Spain? Well, Skull has already said a little bit earlier that eventually they plan to reach Gibraltar, so yeah. We still have 438 people left right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like someone needs to go to bed.
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
It's
it's
getting
still
quite
11
late.
PM.
And someone needs
Starting
to
to
get
get
parked up and turn off his reverse.
oh god, is that me again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hashtag blame Nico.
Actually, it's hashtag blame Mandelsoft. But okay.
Okay.
Yes, I can indeed press. Open up the map. As you can see, we've done a little drive here in Greece, which was nice. And to make it really clear, indeed, Middle East is supported. Any other promo testers here? I don't know. Any plan for shared weather? I don't think we do at this time. Sean or Crash?
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. Well, it has not been done due to two reasons. First, it's the same reason as with AI. It's still reported. It changes with every version, so it's quite hard to keep track with that. The second reason is that not everybody has to like the rain, because now you can choose how often you want to have the raining. Meanwhile, with the synchronized weather, you would not be able to choose that.
Yeah, indeed.
For some people, the raining can cause some FPS rate issues. Sean gonna fix the tab list tag one day, or we need to remove the tab list. I'm working on the fix, do not worry. But there are a lot of things to do, and a lot of things that are involved, and a lot of bugs to fix. And just do this. We are not like ProMods with 20 developers. But it would be nice.
Right. I guess we probably try to answer like a few more, not too many questions, and then we'll end this stream. So we can go to bed.
Yes,
I did
please.
see some guy asking about a South American server. We will be looking at other geographical locations at some point in the future, but nothing right now. We are looking at bringing the US server back up in the coming days, so hopefully they'll be back. But for now, ProMods will only be on an EU server. But that may change in the future, depending on how popular it is.
Yeah, we'll have to look into Canada and ATS at some point as well in the future.
Mr. Icerich asks, I'm curious on how the non-collision zones will work, as there can't be a non-collision zone for every company and every prefab. We are doing our best to get all the non-collision zones working in ProMods as they work in the base game. There are a few non-collision zones left and right that aren't yet recognized in ProMods, but let's say the vast majority are currently already working as they should. Will there be another car besides the Skoda currently in the game? No. Would requirement to own certain DLCs, France, Italy, etc. for use on ProMods on single player be the same to work on a multiplayer? Yes. All requirements that are there for ProMods in single player also are for ProMods in multiplayer. Will the TMP rules allow us to go into secret ProMods areas? Yeah, as they do for hidden areas in the base game, it will also be for the ProMods map. Are we excited for tomorrow's big announcement of SCS and Renault? Yeah, although we're a little bit afraid of how it will be added, because it could break a lot of our work that we've done to support this now.
It's actually a very good point. We might need to think of putting a no collision zone in Svalbard, in the cave system, because people
Indeed.
will get stuck there.
Well, people will get stuck anyway trying to drive in there, especially if they have a trailer connected.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
World of Truck jobs are supported? No. Generally, World of Trucks doesn't work on the map mod. There might be like a few cities in the base area that will work, but as soon as you exit that, it won't work anymore.
I probably doubt it as well, because as far as I know, the basic cities are changed as well.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah, some of them.
The biggest issue actually with external contracts is not necessarily the cities, it's ferry connections. Because we've changed a lot of the ferry connections, so most of the jobs, for instance, between, let's say, Scandinavia and the rest of the continent don't work anymore. The speed limits, Stephen, are the same in ProMods multiplayer as what they are in single player.
When will this be released? Very soon. Realistically, around mid-October. Somewhere around that. Unless, of course, an update from SCS breaks both mods and more work needs to be done. Any MP3 staff soon? We actually already have a few Greek staff members. Alright, it's for me currently 23 hours and 23 minutes, and I guess this is a good time to end the stream. So I would say everyone here in voice, I thank you all for joining with this release, and also for all the work that everyone has done.
Thank you for the great time.
Thank you to all the people who watched this long.
Yeah,
And
everyone that has
supported
been
us.
here for the last 2 hours and a half, hats off to you for being here with us.
Yeah, you are the true fans.
The true hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Although we also realize it's getting quite late.
Yeah, true. But I mean, those are the guys who have the real dedication to watch the stream.
Yeah.
Actually, to watch some terrible drivers drive around the map
Yeah.
for 2 hours. I mean, respect.
Alright, then all that's left for me to say is good night to you all, and we will see you hopefully soon in an updated multiplayer and ProMods. And until the next stream.